Welcome to Ank's English Podcast, your warm, heartfelt space for learning English and growing through real, honest stories. I'm Ank, and I'm so grateful you're here with me today. Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a loop, chasing dreams that seem to slip away no matter how hard you try? That crushing pressure to transform your life overnight, become fluent in English, get in shape, or reinvent yourself in a flash? It's overwhelming, and it can leave you feeling like you're never enough. Today, we're diving into a gentler way to build lasting change, one that doesn't burn you out or break your spirit. I'm sharing 5 tiny habits that feel so simple you might wonder if they'll work. But trust me, they're powerful enough to change everything. Stick with me, because by the end, you'll have practical steps to start today, plus a vocabulary breakdown to boost your English and make your words shine. Ready to let go of the stress and start growing in a way that feels right? Let's dive in. Life can feel like a whirlwind sometimes, can it? Everywhere you turn, there's this loud promise of instant transformation. Learn a language in 30 days. Get a perfect body in 2 weeks. Become a whole new you by next month. It's like the world is screaming, "Hurry up, be better now." And oh, I used to fall for it. I'd set these massive goals, like studying English for 3 hours every night, running a half marathon by spring, or completely overhauling my life in a single month. I'd start with this fire in my chest, imagining the new me waiting just over the horizon. But then life would throw a wrench in my plans. A long day at work, a sleepless night, a quiet moment of self-doubt that whispered, "You're not good enough for this." And when I missed a step, just one day, it felt like the whole plan collapsed. That guilt wasn't just about the goal. It was like I'd failed myself. I'd sit there, replaying my mistakes, wondering why I couldn't just keep up. Why couldn't I be one of those people who seem to have it all together? I lived in that cycle for so long, starting big, crashing hard, and drowning in self-blame. I'd watch others who seemed so disciplined, so focused, and I'd wonder what they had that I didn't. Was it endless motivation? Some secret reserve of willpower? A magic trick I hadn't learned? But here's what I've come to realize. There was nothing wrong with me. The problem was the way I was chasing change. Discipline isn't about forcing yourself into a perfect routine or punishing yourself for every slip. It's about building habits so small, so gentle, they fit into your life no matter how messy it gets. These tiny habits are like seeds you plant in soft soil. They don't look like much at first, but with a little care, they grow into something strong and lasting. So today, I'm sharing 5 micro habits that help me break free from that cycle of burnout and disappointment. They're not flashy or complicated, but they're real, doable, and powerful because they work even when life feels like it's falling apart. Let's start with the first habit, the one that turned my whole perspective upside down. I used to think discipline meant going all in, every single day. If I wanted to improve my English, I'd tell myself I had to study grammar for hours, memorize 50 new words, or hold a perfect conversation without stumbling. If I wanted to get fit, it was an hour of intense exercise or nothing. But when I couldn't keep up, and let's be real, life makes that hard sometimes, it felt like I'd failed everything. That guilt wasn't just about missing a day. It was like I'd broken a promise to myself. It chipped away at my confidence, made me doubt I could ever change. Then I stumbled across a simple idea that changed it all. Make the habit so small it's impossible to skip. At first, I thought it was too easy, like it couldn't possibly work. But I gave it a shot. Instead of studying English for hours, I told myself, just learn one new phrase today. Just one. And you know what? I did it. That first day, I learned rise and shine. The next day, I learned another. The day after, maybe I wrote a sentence using it. It felt so small, almost trivial, but it was something. And that something became a rhythm, like a heartbeat in my day. This habit isn't about settling for less. It's about making the first step so easy you can't talk yourself out of it. When you shrink the goal, you strip away the fear. You stop seeing it as a mountain and start seeing it as a path you can walk. And once you take that first step, you create momentum. It's like rolling a tiny pebble down a hill. It starts moving, picking up speed, growing into something bigger than you imagined. I started with one phrase a day, and soon I was reading English stories, writing in a journal, even catching myself thinking in English during quiet moments. So if you're feeling stuck right now, pause and ask, what's the smallest thing I can do today? Maybe it's learning one English word, doing one stretch before breakfast, taking one slow breath before you open your phone. Make it so tiny it feels ridiculous. Because when you start small, you start. And starting is where change begins to bloom. Now let's move to the second habit, one that changed how I show up in the world. I used to have this reflex of apologizing for everything. I'd say sorry for being a few minutes late, sorry for asking a question in a meeting, sorry for sharing my thoughts in a conversation. I thought I was being polite, but looking back, it was more than that. It was like I was apologizing for existing, for taking up space. Each sorry felt like a small weight, piling up until I felt smaller too. I'd write emails that started with sorry for bothering you or sorry for replying late, even if I'd responded in an hour. It was automatic, like a habit I didn't even notice. Then someone shared a piece of advice that flipped everything. Instead of saying sorry, say thank you. Instead of sorry I'm tardy, try thank you for waiting for me. Instead of sorry for asking again, say thank you for your patience. It's such a small shift, but it's like a spark that lights up your heart. It moves you from guilt to gratitude, from shrinking to standing tall. And if you're learning English, this makes your words sound warmer, more confident, more like you're speaking from a place of strength. This habit is about noticing how you talk, to yourself and to others. The next time you feel that sorry rising, pause. Ask yourself, what can I thank them for instead? It's not just about changing words. It's about changing how you see your own worth. When you stop apologizing for being you, something shifts. You start to feel more present, more grounded. You start to believe you belong here just as you are. And that belief is like a quiet strength that grows inside you, touching everything you do. That brings me to the third habit, one that's all about finding joy in the small, fleeting moments. I used to think life's big wins were the only ones that mattered. Getting a degree, landing a dream job, hitting some far-off goal. I'd race toward those moments, barely noticing the world around me. But that left me blind to the little things that make life feel rich. One evening, I was walking home after a long, exhausting day, my mind tangled in worries and to-do lists. The sky was glowing with this soft, golden light, the kind that feels like a warm embrace from the universe. Without thinking, I stopped. I took a deep breath, and a thought slipped in. This is what life feels like. It wasn't a big moment, no crowds, no applause, but it was everything. Since then, I've made it a habit to pause when something small feels good. Maybe it's the warmth of my morning tea, the sound of children laughing outside, or the way the air feels crisp on an early walk. I stop and I say to myself, this is life. Sometimes I whisper it out loud. Sometimes it's just a quiet thought. But every time, it pulls me back to the present, like an anchor in a storm. This habit is about teaching your heart to notice what's already beautiful. Discipline isn't just about doing more. It's about feeling more. It's about grounding yourself in the moments that make you feel alive. So try this. The next time you feel a spark of joy, even for a second, pause. Say, this is life. Let it sink in. Those tiny moments are like stars in the daytime sky. You don't always see them, but they're always there, waiting for you to notice. They're what keep you going when the world feels heavy. Now let's talk about stress, because it's something we all carry. That's the fourth habit. I used to think stress was a sign I was failing. My heart would race, my thoughts would spiral, and I'd tell myself, why can't I just stay calm? Why can't I be like those people who seem so put together? It felt like I was doing life wrong. But then I learned something that turned stress into something else entirely. It's not the stress itself that hurts you, it's how you think about it. I read about this study where people were told their stress, that pounding heart, that restless energy, was just their body getting ready to face a challenge. And when they believed that, they performed better. It's incredible, isn't it? So now, when I feel stress creeping in, I don't push it away. I pause and ask, what's this feeling trying to tell me? Maybe it's excitement for something new. Maybe it's a sign I care deeply about what's at stake. Maybe it's just my body saying you're alive and this moment matters. This habit is about reframing stress as a signal, not a setback. The next time you feel that tightness in your chest, that quickening pulse, take a breath. Say to yourself, this is my body preparing for something important. It doesn't make stress vanish, but it makes it feel like a partner, not an enemy. It's like turning a stormy wave into a current that carries you forward. You don't have to love stress, but you can learn to work with it, to let it guide you instead of drag you down. Finally, the fifth habit, the one that's made me calmer, stronger, and honestly prouder of who I'm becoming. I used to react too quickly. Someone would say something that stung, and I'd snap back before I could think. I'd get an email that frustrated me, and I'd fire off a reply, only to regret it moments later. My words would come out sharp or defensive, and I'd lie awake at night wishing I could take them back. Then I discovered the power of the pause. Now, when something triggers me, I give myself permission to wait. Maybe it's a deep breath. Maybe it's saying, let me think about that and get back to you. Sometimes it's just counting to 5 in my head, letting the heat of the moment cool. That tiny space between the trigger and my response, it's where my strength lives. It's where I choose who I want to be. Calm, thoughtful, grounded. This habit is about building emotional discipline. It's not about never feeling angry or hurt. It's about giving yourself room to choose your response. Try it today. The next time something pushes your buttons, pause. Just for a moment. Ask, what would my best self say or do? That pause is like a shield for your peace. It protects your relationships, your confidence, and your heart. And the more you practice it, the stronger it gets. Like a muscle you didn't know you had. It's not about being perfect. It's about being intentional, about showing up as the person you want to be. So there you have it. 5 micro habits to build discipline without breaking yourself. Shrink your goals to start small. Swap sorry for thank you. Pause for life's quiet joys. Reframe stress as energy and give yourself space to respond. These aren't loud, dramatic changes. They're soft, steady, and real. They're the kind of habits that stick because they're built for the messy, unpredictable beauty of real life. When you start trusting yourself with these small steps, you stop feeling like you're failing. You start seeing that you're growing, one tiny moment at a time. And that trust, it's the foundation of everything. Now let's slow things down for my favorite part of the show, the vocabulary breakdown. These words and phrases carry the heart of today's episode, perfect for anyone learning English or just savoring the beauty of language. Let's explore them together slowly so you can feel their weight and warmth. First, stuck. It's when you feel trapped, like you're caught in quicksand, unable to move forward. Try it. I felt stuck in my old habits. It's heavy, but it's not forever. Next, discipline. It's the quiet strength to keep going, even when it's tough. Not punishment, but commitment. Say it with me. Discipline helps me grow every day. Feel its steady power. Then overwhelm. It's when life feels too big, too heavy, like you're drowning in your own thoughts. Try it. I was overwhelmed by my goals. It's human, and it passes. Now a phrase, burnout. It's when you push so hard you feel empty, drained. Whisper it. If I don't rest, I'll burn out. Rest is your strength, not your weakness. Next, momentum. It's the energy that builds when you take that first step, like a river starting to flow. Say it, small steps built my momentum. Every start counts. Then gratitude. It's the warm glow of being thankful even for the smallest things. Try it. Gratitude changed how I see my life. It's like sunlight in your soul. Now creep in when something sneaks up slowly like stress or doubt. Say it softly. Stress can creep in without warning. Notice it, name it, let it go. And finally, push your buttons. It's when something sparks an instant reaction, usually not a good one. Try it. That comment really pushed my buttons. Pause, breathe, choose. Pick one of these words today. Say it out loud, write it down, let it live with you. Use it in a sentence, carry it with you throughout the day. These words aren't just for learning English. They're tools to help you connect more deeply with yourself and others. Thank you for being here, for listening, for growing with me. This episode was personal, reflective, and maybe a little heavy, but I hope it gave you permission to be gentle with yourself. If it spoke to you, share it with someone who might need it. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep growing. I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, take care and keep shining.